What's going on, everybody? We are back in here once again with another live stream. Shout out to you guys for being in here, being involved, and being active on this channel. It's Money Day, everybody, aka Melanin Monday, aka Pre-Rat Party Day. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Enjoyed yourselves. Did whatever you did. I know I certainly did. Shout out to the live gang, replay gang watching this in the future. And of course, the Lurk Squad. Let me go ahead and check for any audio issues that may or may not be on my end. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Check, mic check, mic. Sweet. So far, so good. We're live and in living color on all three platforms. So we can go ahead and get started today. It's going to be a chill stream, super short stream. We will be watching the OB32 item and God balance patch notes, Titan Talk for tomorrow in preparation. We need to know what's new, what changed in items and God, you know? Tomorrow's patch day, baby. Tomorrow's patch day. Ratatasker is joining the battleground of the gods. Get excited. Get excited. Today's going to be just a relaxing day. And tomorrow, we grind, baby. That's right. Let's go ahead and get started. You. Let me see. Can you hear?
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button again. Good afternoon and welcome in to another Titan Talk that nearly ended.
We're in studio. Accompanying Hindu Man, Kilgoon, and Manny the Mannequin. Holy moly. He hit that outro on accident. Friggin' Hindu Man.
Very, very early. I can't believe I keep pressing that button, by the way.
It's all right.
Just to end the show straight away.
The buttons are kind of like small and close together.
Thanks for trying to make
I'm trying to give you,
It's
yeah,
terrible. It's
yeah.
terrible.
An excuse. A justification out.
Nope.
No, sir. I caught you. I know. You got a stream deck more than likely. Which one? I don't know.
Nope.
Although I can certainly understand where you're coming from. Because I, too, sometimes press the wrong button on accident. So, you know what? As I was articulating my statement out here, I realized that, yes, I too mess up, man. So I can't be one to say ish.
Nope.
Can't say much about it. I was going to go into, man, how do you mess up? Like, there's no way. And then I just kept thinking. I was like, yeah, I actually mess up too. I haven't had zero falls.
Nope.
Scouts honor, AA. We're in the same boat, Hindu Man. We're in the same boat, brother.
Welcome into another Titan Talk. It is Friday, April 3rd, and we are a few days away from the Ratatoska update.
Yeah.
Hitting
One day
the
away
streets,
for
the
us.
map, the shops,
The trees.
the tree, hitting the trees, jumping on the trees.
Jump on the trees.
Yeah,
Hopping.
something like that. Something like Acorns
This
are-
does
Very
not
appropriate.
sound
You got-
very
you got a
loud.
hopping squirrel right in time for Easter.
Easter, yeah. And there's a couple of Easter
Hello?
supporter store things in
Yeah.
there, which I think are really cute as well. But today, obviously, it's just me and Kilgoon and good old Manny to go over some of the OB. I was going to say 20. Is it 23?
Okay, I think that's good.
32.
32.
Brain-
We've stopped using the
brain-
numbers.
32, you're at
Externally, we're
32.
mostly
32.
like-
My
We're
bad,
mostly
yeah.
like it's the God update because I think
Yep.
it's easier for people to understand like what is going on
The
in the
Ratata.
update, and also some people that just don't understand the way that we do game development. They're like, "You're having 33 open betas," like, and they're just like very judgmental about it. When it's like that, we develop the game alongside.
We can just
the
call it
community,
OB
so we
next
think-
one.
Yeah,
OB
yeah,
next
just
one.
the next one. Yeah. So
for the most part, real quick mentions and a couple of things as well. This weekend, Smite Prime is back with April's Circuit will begin. So make sure you check out Smite Prime on Twitch and also on Smite Game.
It looks like a figurine. A Chiron figurine. Doesn't look like a PNG.
Nope.
Of a 2D Chiron art drawing. It's like a sculpture and like a 3D one. Pretty cool.
Additionally, this evening, there'll also be the very first AGL, Albion Giants League, are doing their cash tournaments. Their cash league is starting up this evening. It will be available on this channel and on the Albion Giants channel as well. I did ask for some dates from them, but I've not got the screen right now, unfortunately, if I could show that. And then also at the weekend, the OSL Draft League is still going on Sundays.
Damn, Hindu man, you slacking.
On Smite Game as well, so esports is still flowing around in the community as well. Very
lots of good competitive
that.
stuff to watch. There is. Nowadays, because I have little children, most of my daylight hours are spent chasing my kids around. But in the olden days, back when I was a man of leisure,
back in the day.
I would always have I'd be playing Smite on one monitor and have the esports on the other monitor.
Yep.
It was great. It's
fantastic. Still
highly recommend that if you've not tried that.
For sure. And obviously the moment with the meta changes in terms of the new items coming in the game, the new stats, we've seen a lot more people tuning in because everyone wants to know what's good, what's bad, and we're slowly learning through that. And without further ado, then we can go into our
jump into it.
Overview.
Let's go.
Of some of the balance changes coming to the game.
And I did say on Wednesday when we had our last show, this is a lighter balance patch because
short one.
We kind of had the bigger change coming to Echo that we wanted to see how that shaked out because that had really shifted a lot of the meta and a lot of the balance. That it's hard to tell some of the underlying things beyond that. So there are some changes in here. I'm not saying we didn't touch anything, but it's maybe a little bit lighter than you've seen some patches in the past because
who got nerfed?
Echo change.
Yep, and
we know Nuwa got
see
shit.
how the Echo plays out and continue to iterate on a few things as well. I know Crit is kind of very focal point as well, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Without further ado, though,
and we were just talking about before the show. We think it was that Echo drew more of people's attention towards Crit being good.
Yep. Yes, it did. Holy moly! Radiant Bulwark removed the self slow while channeling. You gain 20% damage mitigation. Okay. Yeah. Using it, you're like, stand behind me, guys. I got this. Brother, you couldn't move at all. Yeah, I mean, it did say that. The slow was very, very harming, though. Because if you popped it at the wrong time, it's a wrap ski. Now, instead, while channeling, you get 20% damage mitigation, so you can move around more freely. That's cool. You still can't really turn, though, because that hasn't been removed yet. Only the slow. The slow plus the no turning was, I think that's what the biggest issue was. So they removed the self-slow, which is great. Now you can move around. You just can't really turn on a dime, That's so cool, though. And then Damaru got decreased strength and decreased bonus ability damage per stack and decreased bonus attack damage per stack from 10% to 8%. Spectral increased max health. Okay. Increased critical strike reduction. Excellent. From 25% to 30%. And you share minus 15% critical strike reduction to allies within 8.8 meters. That's actually huge. That's very, very beneficial. Now that they remove the anti-attack speed aspect of Spectral, they're adding a little bit more value to that anti-crit thing, really solidifying the item as an anti-crit. I wish it was also anti-attack speed. That was so great. Pharaoh's Curse added health. Which one's that one? I don't even know.
Nope.
And Kinetic Kuiras. Decreased attacks needed to trigger from 5 to 4. And can now store up to 2 charges of kinetic. Cool.
Yeah, potentially. But also there was a couple of changes with obviously plating changing and coming in that kind of had a knock on the Spectral. So here's a little look at some of the items They're going to be seeing adjustments in-game. Radiant Bulwark, first of all. We've removed the self-slow, and while channeling, you're going to gain 20% damage mitigation. There was a lot of feedback from players who used the Bulwark of like, I just feel like a sitting duck. People are just smashing me in the face, and they could just walk past me. So now we've made it a little bit more mobile, and I'm actually going to give you a bit of a damage reduction while channeling this to give you opportunities to use it.
And you still can't turn. So there are still some restrictions, you know, but you at least are moving at full speed. So.
Next up is Damaru. Again, a little bit of a touch towards Damaru here. We're going to be reducing the strength from this item from 40 to 35. And also the bonus ability damage per stack is going from 10% to 8%. And also the bonus attack damage is going to be going down from 10% to 8%. Obviously, iteration still coming through with how this item works because it is one of those catch ones because of the fact it's got crit and it's got echo. So trying to find the right balance point there.
Yeah, I think just taking the edge off a little bit, seeing where it shakes out.
Additionally, Spectral Armor going to see an increase in buff extra health.
Pretty great. I like the extra health.
400 to 450.
The whole buffs they got. I like
Increasing
all
the
of
critical strike reduction from 25% to 30%. And also you're going to be sharing 15% critical reduction to allies within 8.8 meters now.
Yeah. So again, going to what you were talking about earlier,
reduction.
Crit a little bit strong in this update. Part of it was the changes to Spectral.
Yeah.
We think that some of the things that Spectral was doing still should not be doing. You know, we didn't bring it back everything that it did, but giving a little bit of shared critical strike reduction should help out with that.
Definitely. I think there'll still be some complaints of like, well, we need more, but we'll see.
People always want more. You know, that's
more.
World. That's
more.
You know,
that's the way of life. Pharaoh's Curse next up did get a couple of adjustments in the last patch. This is a pretty big one actually. Going
huge
from
one.
0 health to 250 makes this a lot more viable for a lot of supportive sort of characters to be picking up some tanks to look into. 250 health just being added flat to Pharaoh's Curse. Expect to see that in your games, especially with the effects it brings with the active. Next on the list is Kinetic Cuirass. We're going to be decreasing the attacks needed to trigger this item from 5 to 4 and can now store up to 2 charges of kinetic.
Yeah, I think that makes that item a lot more interesting. Like, you're going to get it more often. You're going to have some charges stored up to where you can, you know, get more burst out of it or you know, use it rapidly. I think it should be fun.
After that, we're going to be moving on to Teko Kagi next. Going to be decreasing the pathfinding duration from 10 seconds to 8 seconds.
All the movement
strength
speed
from 50
items,
to
yeah.
45. And decreasing the attack speed from 25% to 20%. So pretty much small adjustments across the board for that. And Gemma Focus in sort of the same vein there. We're going to be dropping the intelligence on that from 75 to 65. And also the pathfinding duration. So the duration is really the biggest. Mobility, nice to see, but we always know mobility is very strong. So we're toning that down a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that like these were both items that were strong when they just gave you basic like movement speed the way they did before this pathfinding update. Pathfinding in part was a way to try and get a version of move speed that is healthier for the game, right? Because it's like not as strong in combat. And I think we just saw like, hey, as we work through the balance, a little bit too strong still, but this should be, I feel as though this will be an easier version of move speed to tune than true move speed.
That's fair. Just flat movement speed across the board. And then Cosmic Horror as well was a little bit too potent with 85 intelligence. That's going to go down to 75 intelligence here as we monitor that item some more. So that's all items for this patch. As we said, it's not a
green and pink one
on top of the crit echo stuff that we talked about previously.
That was already mentioned earlier on, already implemented in game 2. We'll move on to Gods next, and top of the list.
Nerf!
Alphabetical order, all being well, I believe.
Gebster got nerfed in his aspect. Okay. Basic attack scaling. It used to be 100% strength, 20% intelligence, and 100% attack damage. It is now 75% strength, 20% intelligence, and 75% attack damage. So 25% off of strength and attack damage. Sweet. Okay, and then Shockwave went from 100 to 360. It is now 80 to 340. Yeah, early on. That was a lot of damage he was getting. Just tuned it a little bit. No, 20 across the board. Yeah, 20 across the board. And Gilgamesh got a buff. Sunforged Scimitar, the one.
I did it, so hopefully it's correct here. But Geb is going to be getting a nerf towards his aspect. A lot of people complaining about the strength of the potency, of just how good he is. Well, his basic attack scaling is going to be adjusted here. Was 100% strength, 20% intelligence, and 100% attack damage. It's now going to be 75% strength, 20% in, and 75% attack damage. And additionally, his shockwave is going to be adjusted down a little bit as well. Was 100 to 360, will now be 80 to 340. with him being a little bit more of a carry role here as well, just adjusting some of those numbers to match what other carries are doing in that lane makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think he's still going to do a lot of damage, right? He's still got the buff on his shield.
He's still going to have the crit effect that can proc items on as well, so that's additional to him as well. So I do think he's still going to be very strong, but it's going to give him a bit more of a scaling situation there, rather than flat early game pressure. Next up is Gilgamesh. He's going to be getting a buff as well. Apologies for the.
You should have just cut it off right there.
Overall, I believe
It's me and my OCD just unsatisfied with this. Just make the cut to keep it all together.
I believe Gilgamesh was struggling a little bit. A lot of people gave feedback on, so this is why we're going to see these changes. Increase the ignition damage from 65 to 105 will now be 70 to 210.
4% of max health.
And increase the attack bonus scaling from 3% to 4% of max health. And has also updated the quest progress to be hit 5 attacks on enemy gods while Sunforged Scimitar is ignited. I think some people were struggling with some of those quests.
Yeah, I think like reaching max duration was just hard to understand when you did or didn't do it. And it was also just hard to do. I think
it was like 30 something basic attacks. I think it's like on the same target though. Yeah. I never knew if I even got I know I didn't get it.
Nope.
I would only master 2, 3 frequently, and then the fourth one, like 1 or 2 completion. The first one though,
nope.
I never saw 1 out of 3. It was always at 0 out of 3. It was like 8 hits for it to actually count and change, tick up. And keeping track of all that while in the middle of fighting, you're like, okay. You lose track of it. Super easy. Drop kick, fix an issue where this was not properly getting displacement immunity during the channel. Heroes advance the 3 increased damage taken debuff from 10 to 12.5%. Winds of Shamash. His ult updated quest progress to count knockbacks that occur when damaging someone touching the wall. An aspect of Shamash. Decreased wall burn damage scaling from 160 to 140. Yeah, that was a lot of tick damage from the freaking wall burn. Holy moly.
Hitting 5 attacks on gods is a more reasonable quest to be. Hitting 5 attacks on gods is a more reasonable quest to be doing here. And then also just was not quite doing as much damage as it probably should have. Right?
Yeah. Dropkick, we also fixed an issue where this was not properly getting displacement immunity during the channel, so that has been adjusted. I know a lot of players have been giving more feedback on the dropkick. I know we made some updates to it because people were frustrated with it at the start, but it seems to be smoothed out and people are really starting to enjoy it now. Heroes Advance increased the damage taken debuff from 10% to 12.5%. Winds of Shamash, we've also updated quest progress to count knockbacks that occur when damaging someone touching the wall. And last but not least...
So you don't just need to drop kick anymore now. You can just attack people while they're touching the wall.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good.
Nice.
Drop kick. And then aspect of Shamash, we decreased the wall burn damage. Huge one that people were mentioning on the aspect was just the potency of this in the early game or throughout the game. Scaling's going to go down from 160 to 140%, but we'll be keeping an eye on that too. Next on the list, another
nerf.
A very frustrating god that people have been seeing is Hecate is going to be seeing some changes here. Triplicate form, first of all, decreasing the bonus damage scaling from 3.5% to 2%, and decreasing the mark duration from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. Additionally, the repel magic, the third ability, decreasing the base damage of this. It was 85 to 265, will now be a little bit less at 75 to 255, but also reducing the intelligence scaling from 85% to 70%, and decreasing the shield duration too.
Yep.
Next up,
I'm glad they didn't touch the movement speed, because the shield and the movement speed is really what I like about that the most. Hercules got a nerf. Damn. Okay, general. Decreased base physical protections from 16.3 to 15. A pretty round and whole number. Decreased base magical protections from 28.1 to 25. Apotheosis his passive. Decreased protections per level 50% decrease. Jeez Louise. From 4 to 2 per level. Mitigate wounds, decrease protections. From 15 to 35 to now 10 to 30. So 5 across all ranks. Didn't he just get buffed too? And it got nerfed again. Holy moly. I guess he was busted.
Hercules,
Yes,
it's all just there.
The H's, they're just getting hit.
Everybody, Hercules nerf as well now. Some of this was semi a revert as well in some regards. So some of the changes we made before the changes came through. So general on the decreased basic physical protections from 16.3% to 15, decreased base magical protections from 12.81 to 25. Apophis, which is part of the passive, decreased the protections per level from 4 to 2, and mitigate wounds, decreased the protections. It was 15 to 35, it's now going to be 10 to 30. So we're going to continue to see how Hercules plays out now with these adjustments. Obviously, the itemization changes kind of played into that a little bit. We saw a little bit more Herc, but he did get a buff at the same time.
Yeah,
So
I think it ended up being kind of a double buff to him, right? So I think that this should hopefully get him into a better place. He is still, at least last time I looked at the data, he was a very he was a god that overperformed in some skill brackets and underperformed in other skill brackets, which is interesting because I don't think of him as being a super high skill god. But
it's like him the combos and getting the full,
I guess,
full
yeah.
buff out.
But we were seeing that the last time I looked at the data, so I'm curious to see how things shake out with this.
And last but not least on the notes this week is the Nuwa. I've got some bug fixes, but Nuwa aspect of Shining Mist is going to be adjusted here. We're going to be sending out a new aspect. Strength of Wood, the passive, new. Every attack reduces the cooldown of Shining Metal by 0.5 seconds.
Damn,
if hitting
0.5?
an enemy god, or 0.2 seconds otherwise. Then the Shining Metal, the third ability.
You get rewarded for
projectile
actually hitting an enemy god now. A lot more. An extra 0.3 seconds. Holy moly. That's a lot. You can spam this ability. Pew, pew, pew. If you're actually hitting people. Shining Metal. Increased projectile damage scaling from 40% intelligence and 80% strength. It is plus 40% intelligence. Hang on, what the fuck? 40% intelligence. It is now 80% strength. Plus 40% intelligence. Plus 80% attack damage. Okay, I got you guys. So it just used to be based off your intelligence. The magical damage, increased project. So the damage scaling was just purely intelligence. Now, this is on her aspect. So they changed it to include strength, 80% strength, 40% intelligence. That's still the same. And now an extra 80% attack damage. So they added strength and attack damage there, basic attacks. This ability can proc attack item effects in addition to ability item effects. Ring the bell. Am I ringing it too early, perhaps? We'll see. Holy moly. You can put Hydras on her now. Crusher. More Echo and then crit. Woo! Woo! Yo, attack speed new one's gonna go wild with this one. Attack speed crit. And her ult no longer does critically strike. That's the great one.
Scaling 40 to 80%.
Woo.
Sorry, 40% intelligence, 80% strength, plus 40% intelligence, plus 80% attack damage. Ugh. This ability can now proc item effects in addition to ability item effects. And last but not least, the Fire Shards ability. This ability can no longer critically strike. This is a reaction to what we've been seeing with Echo. And Crit again. I'm really looking into that aspect as a whole.
I think it's more like Echo brought people's attention to the fact that this was a really strong aspect, even without Echo, right?
Fair,
like getting to critically strike everybody on the map for a ton of damage was just good.
For free.
It basically the goal of this was just like, let's move some of the power out of the critical strike ultimate and into more of this loop of you hit basic attacks, you get more threes. Your threes are going to hit hard, and kind of weaving those together.
We'll definitely be monitoring that once it hits release next week as well, just to see how that's going. Oh, I did miss a note of her as well. Mysterious fog travels slightly before stopping, allowing you to fire attacks within it and remain stealthed. Shining metal and fire shard scale with attack power and procs attack item effects. Attacks reduce the cooldown of shining metal. Additionally, strength of fire also provides attack speed. My apologies, Chav.
Yeah, that's just the recap, I guess, of what it does.
Exactly how the loop works. And then last but not least, there was a couple of bug fixes we've already mentioned, but just a couple here just to mention again. We fixed the Artemis traps, showing any coloration on the minimap for friendlies. Fix an issue where Najar's slow would bypass slow immunities, and fix an issue where old items that receive new stats were not showing up on split store view under the special tab. There is additional bug fixes coming through as well, but they'll be available in the patch notes, the full update notes later on this week. I guess you'll go over those Monday.
Yep. I usually just do the full read through of everything. Yeah.
Have fun with that tracker list. That's what else.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
But that's all we have there.
India has been hard at work making trackers.
It looks really good, though. Yeah, I'm excited to see how people interact with them. And I still want to know what this nut tracker is. I have no clue myself. We'll find out, I'm sure.
Tomorrow we find out.
That's a little look at the OB.
The extended April Fool's joke will come to a conclusion.
Yeah. I think we got a really exciting patch coming up on Tuesday. There's
it was only like 10 minutes worth of patch. Holy moly! That's the shortest one.
May make this patch that we've been running some like testing on that I might talk about on Monday. But it's one of those things that like I didn't want to promise it, so it's not like a new gameplay feature. It's a new like technical feature.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff we've been working on in the background, and in addition to the stuff that's going live, with Rattosker, and then PTS is still live if you want to do custom games and
should be
jungle practice and experiment
tasty
with
water
gods. Would love to see any feedback, any bug reports you have, especially around Atlas aspect. Because it's quite a complicated one that we're trying to get as much.
I think it's interesting, but it's going to take a lot. My brain needs to kind of process how that the whole combo situation, throwing it out, pulling it back, kicking it away again, is going to be. So I'm excited to see it.
Cool.
What do we have in chat for questions then?
See what y'all got, chat.
Any plans to nerf junglers in general? It's frustrating to play the game knowing 90% of the outcome depends on if your jungler is better than the other. Past year has been too much jungle dependent. I would say junglers are kind of always an impactful role in MOBAs.
For sure.
That's why some MOBAs choose not to have a jungler or a defined jungling role, because the jungler is kind of like the pace setter, right? If you watch any MOBA with a jungler, like when the jungle comes to your lane is usually when fights happen, right?
Yep.
Sure.
It's a strong role. It's always going to be an impactful role. There are things that, there are things that we are looking at with jungle, as there are things that we are looking at with all roles. But I think that, if you're expecting a world where the flow of combat, especially in like early mid game, does not revolve around jungler, I think that's just kind of how MOBAs with junglers work to some extent.
I see your point.
Dota 2 doesn't have a jungling role. Yes, that's what I was talking about. I said MOBAs with junglers, that's the way it works. Like, we could do away with junglers. We could have 2 duo lanes and a solo lane, but I don't think that's the smite that people really want to play. Every time we've moved away from the meta of there's a duo lane and a mid lane and a solo lane and a jungler, people yell at us until we change it back. Because there was a meta for a while where support was like a second jungler, or like a counter jungler. There was a meta where
I remember that
jungle started in lane. Everybody hated that. Like anytime where it's not just there's a jungler. There's the roles that people get upset.
Get the out of my lane, you damn leech.
When do you think we can see teleport to ward again, if at all? I think there's kind of 2 parts to that. The first part is a design question of like, do we think it's the right thing to add to the game? The second part is the like technical implementation part. One of the reasons why we didn't implement it initially, when like back in the early days, is that historically it needed a specific UI element for console in particular to select which
Which
ward
ward?
to teleport to.
That's
Oh,
right.
got you with
So-
the overlay. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you push the button to teleport, then like a new window pops up, and
Yeah.
then you have to like use your stick to move to find the thing that you want to teleport to, and then you gotta click on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like creating an additional UI window was just something we didn't have time for at the
A
moment.
lot of BS. In other
But
words,
teleporters in the game now as well at the moment, which I think kind of double dips.
Yeah, so I think
into
we have
that
teleporters
mobility.
already. So like you could always back and then just hop in the teleporter and go to another lane. Like that is an option. You also the thing I was gonna say is the other way that we could technically do it now if we wanted to is to do it more like a Neath ult or an Athena ult targeting, where you like look in the direction of the thing that you want to go, and like the wards highlight.
But even then, that could be quite tricky for like trying to find the
Yeah,
exact
you might
ward.
be hard to find the word, and then people complain, and then we have to do it the other way, and then it's like I don't know. It's going to be more work than you would assume to get it in.
Yeah.
And I think that like
best.
from a design perspective, still not 100% sure that it is the thing the game needs at the moment anyway.
yeah, nah, I see what you're saying.
What's the April Fool's tracker for? You will learn more when you log in on Tuesday with the new update. If you have received
Log
it,
in day. Okay.
there you will see more on Tuesday.
Tomorrow. All right. I'm looking forward to this.
With all the
Conclusion.
item and stats, has there been an uptick or drop off in player count? As a long-time casual player, it's hard to keep up with all the changes, and new players may struggle with all these changes if vets are struggling. I think that's a fair argument, but I also think there's a real balance point of people saying we're not putting stuff in the game or trying things out while we're in beta, and then when we do put stuff in the game, people are like, well, you're changing too much.
Yeah, man.
And our patch cadence is pretty
Brother,
regular,
what?
every 2 weeks. So things are iterating. Like if you take a 2 week, 4 week break, you will come back and go, wait, what's changed here? I do get that sentiment personally, but I also know that players do want to see us continue to try and push the boundaries in some regard and make iterations based off what we see is like a good direction.
Yeah, and from what we've seen, player numbers have been, stable to maybe slightly up. Our player retention has been ticking slightly up. It's not. I think that people are maybe overestimating the impact of the new items on that. Especially because like most new players do not interact with the item store.
The
at
new
all.
items.
Right? It's very important. Like, if you're a new player, this has always been true in Smite. Because Smite 1, it was you're on auto build, and you didn't turn off auto build until you played the game for hundreds of hours, usually.
Yep.
Like all of our stats showed, right?
Fact. That's
in
true.
Smite
That's
2,
how I
it's
played.
like, okay, well, you're on the pick 3 builder in quick play.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're on essential item store when you go into the regular game, the casual modes. And then you maybe are following community build guides, or maybe you're picking an auto build at the start. And then once you do go into building for yourself, most players that are building for themselves, you know what they do at the start of a game? They go into Google and they type build for Hercules.
Yep.
And then
Try
they
and find
just
a build
copy
website
it.
and copy it.
Right,
and
like-
it might be whatever date. Yeah.
Like the percentage of players that actually dynamically come up with their own builds on the fly while playing the game is vanishingly small. It's like maybe 5% of the players.
Damn, that's me right there.
That's just a number I pulled out of my ass. Like, maybe it's like 20% of the players.
Yeah.
But like, there is no way in the world that it is more than like 20 or 30% of the players at the very top, because like most people are following a build that they saw online, or a build that they memorized online. I did this one last time and it worked, so I'm just going to keep doing that.
Yeah,
Right.
which is
Like,
pretty standard for a player to do. However, with how Smite's
Interesting.
gone, Smite 2's gone and time's gone on as well, there's so much that can go on in the game that you can adjust your build to deal with. Oh, there's a lot of basic attack damage coming through. I can go play, and there's a lot of CC coming on. I can go for dampening. You can get all these different things. So it does make it more entertaining.
Yes.
in the
Dampening
game
is
to
for
think.
ability,
But some people don't
damage
necessarily
dealer.
want that either. They're just like, give me my railroad. I want to just build my same items and know I'm going to do okay.
And that's why I think these new items are interesting, right? Because like I think that if you are the kind of person that actually cares about the item system, and you like theory crafting and coming up with items or coming up with builds like in the middle of a match, like these new items are really interesting, and they give you a lot more ways to like dynamically react to the match situation.
For sure.
But for most people, it's like it's additional complexity that does not make the game more complex for them, because they're just building the things that they read on the internet they should be building. Or
That's true. That is the meta build.
yeah. And so it's like this is the
Cookie
best
cutters.
way to add complexity, because it's complexity for the top end players, but not for the casuals, really.
the beginners.
And somebody like I don't know what the name of the person, but like somebody's like, I'm a very casual player, but you're in the Titan Talk chat, and this is not me like hating on the Titan Talk community. I love you all, but like you are kind of self-defined like some of the most engaged players if you come to watch
Yeah, a
this stream.
podcast of us two folks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just sat here talking about the game in general.
Yeah, you must care about this game a lot, which is awesome. Like, I'm glad you care.
Hey, that's us, baby. That's us. I'll give all of us a round of applause. Let's go. I don't watch it live.
Nope.
I do watch the replays though. Hell yeah.
Game a lot, and we care about it a lot. That's why we're here. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
But, like,
that's right.
You know, I think you're understanding
Brothers in
how
arms.
committed to the game you are if you're in this chat and if you're thinking about the items that you're building. Like, you're already like head and shoulders above the vast majority of players.
Hey, let's go.
That's
us,
keep asking
chat.
the same
That's
question in
us.
chat? You have my contact information. I'll talk to you after the stream regarding your applications for community tournaments.
So I think I'm gonna continue on my soapbox
go
for
ahead,
one more
go
second.
ahead,
I'm
go
sorry. So Setsuna Fairy and Opwash both say I'm a casual player. I'm a very casual player.
I've
Right?
seen Setsuna Fairy in this. No disrespect to Setsuna. I've seen you in here pretty much every single episode. So I wouldn't class him as casual.
So what I want to say is I want to like draw a distinction here between like there are people, especially in the Smite community, that are like, I play casuals, I don't play ranked.
Correct.
Just because you don't play ranked does not mean that you are a casual player in our eyes, the way I'm talking about. Because I mean, like, if you
Two different distinctions
if you are a very
casual.
knowledgeable player about the game and you care a lot about it and you think about it when you're not playing, then you are not a casual player in my eyes. In my eyes, a casual player is somebody that plays like maybe a day or two a week and, you know, doesn't really like, you know, like an hour here or there kind of thing, right? Doesn't, you know, logs on with their friends, doesn't really like Smite, but it's not like a huge part of their life, right? And that's like the majority of the player base. And I know it's like Magic the Gathering. They're like, the number one format is kitchen table, right? It's just whatever cards I have, I play Magic the
We just
Gathering.
throw them in there.
Yeah, it's and people don't believe it. So like, no, the Friday Night Magic crowd is the way. It's like a small percentage. So I think that like you guys are casual players, but you're dedicated players who I would not classify as like casual. If that makes sense.
The other thing is people also go, well, if you don't play ranked, you're not hardcore, or you don't play the game, you don't know enough. There is plenty of people that don't play ranked that are really good at just casual conquest. And don't get me wrong, the casual conquest queues does have a matchmaking rating to it as well. And you will run into some really good players that I would go, oh my goodness, they should be like high level ranked for sure. But you check their accounts, they don't play ranked, and that's just the way it is. They like playing with their friends, they like just chilling out, not having that extra stress, because rank can be stress inducing at times.
It is.
like
Same for Assault, same for like Arena. There is some hardcore players in all those modes that just play a lot and just know those modes in and out. So
can we teach people how to play before they can queue ranked? They just want a W key kill like it's COD. So I'm gonna say
everyone starts that way. I feel
there's a few components to this question. The first one is, can we teach people to play? Teaching people to play a MOBA is incredibly challenging, and I don't think any game has successfully done this. I think that like there are games that have tried really long tutorials and then done away with them. Dota used to have a very long tutorial that was like trying to teach you everything. They did away with it all. There have been games that like just throw you in and don't really help at all.
Sink or swim.
You know, we try and help you learn the game with bot matches, with quick play. Quick play is a big part of like understanding the basics of the game. And then you have to be a certain level before you can play ranked. The rock and a hard place for us as a sequel is that if we set the level to play ranked high, then people that are coming from Smite 1 to Smite 2 or maybe played, you know, thousands of hours on Smite 1 come in and they're like, I have to play
all these games
100 hours before I can play ranked. Like, F this. So it is maybe a little bit lower than we would have set it if we were a completely new novel game with no history of players. But I don't think it's too far off. And then the other thing is that like in ranked, there is matchmaking, right? You're going to be matchmade with people that are of roughly similar skill levels as you. And
I would argue that's debatable, man. Because the players I'd be paired up with, goodness gracious, I don't know. Like, there's no way my skill level is the same as theirs.
Nope.
Like, none. I am so much better than them. Why am I in this team? I'll just Keep it moving. Keep it moving. There's no need to get into it.
Nope.
Obviously, it doesn't know much about you first. Your first few games will be rougher, I would say.
Yeah.
But like, it should kind of work itself out. Like, anyway.
The more you play a MOBA, the better you will get in the long term. It's not a nice answer because everything can also change in a MOBA too. Patch to patch, the meta may change in a Conquest or even Arena with the itemization stuff. So.
Oh, and the last thing, I'm going. Sorry, I remember there was the second part of the question that I wanted to get to. I'm just like on my soapboxes today. I'm sorry. People just want a W key kill like it's COD, right? So this is one of the issues with action MOBA. This is a core issue with this kind of game, right? And you know, all of the other third-person MOBAs I think have the same issue, where it's like if you are playing a top-down MOBA, it is extremely easy to judge your position in the world and to judge like if I'm too far forward, if I'm leaving my teammates behind, because I can see behind me, right? And in Smite and these other action MOBAs, you only can see what's in front of you, right?
30-degree cone angle.
It's
Field of vision.
really easy to get overextended compared to top-down MOBAs.
The perception is just not
because you don't know what's going on behind you.
Yeah.
You think that people are following you. They're not.
Yeah.
You could be looking at the map, but usually you're looking at the guy you're trying to kill, especially if you're not a Masters player. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just like, it's one of those kind of like trade-offs that you're making by playing a action MOBA versus a top-down MOBA. Is that
Again, no perfect solution.
Nope.
Only trade-offs. Shout out to CGA and the coach gang.
Like, yes, you shouldn't be W keying, but people are going to get more focused on the combat and the thing in front of them.
Yeah.
And it's harder for people to play
For sure.
strategically and position themselves perfectly than it is in like a top-down game.
That's true. I experienced that.
Yeah, you can't see what your teammates are doing. That's why I moved my mini map in the center of the screen. Yeah, there's a lot of people have a lot of strategies.
I mean,
for it,
even way back when, coming from traditional MOBA to Smite, way back when, for me, it was definitely a big perception change of like, I'm in third person now. I have lose so much vision and knowledge of what's going on around me that you're a little bit more threatened regarding what could come from behind or what your teammates are doing and not be able to see everything that's happening in those team fights. Not knowing if a beads was used, for example, or an Aegis was used. And like, can I use that? Did they use their ultimate? That sort of thing.
Does the game support DLSS? Yes, it does. It supports FSR, DLSS, and XESS, which is the Intel version. It should automatically turn on for new accounts. But basically, you go into the graphic settings, you turn on TAA, and then under, which is an anti-aliasing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. I was like, how do you say that? Aliasing? My brain was breaking. Option, and then under that, it has the options for which the different ones to use. Because technically, all of those are like they require TAA to be on for them to work.
Anti-aliasing.
Will you ever get the legacy skins in a chest? I'm not going to say never. I'm going to say it's not immediately on our roadmap. I mean, they are all like we priced them a little bit higher because to recognize that like these were rare skins that people worked for, and generally speaking, we don't throw like really high priced things into chests. There's always a chance, but I'm not aware of plans for it.
Is there any news on Chang'e? When we can expect her? She's my favorite character ever, and I'll be able to play her again. It's so bad. Being real, at the moment, we've not got an update on when Chang'e's coming. We've literally just announced Ishtar and Atlas are both on the roadmap to come soon, and we'll be going further down as we go.
Yeah, and the thing to know about Chang'e, right? So Chang'e requires pet tech, right? So because of the Jade Rabbit. I don't think he has a name beyond the Jade Rabbit, right? It's not like Steve or something.
He's been given weird names, but no, the Jade Rabbit does not have a name.
Yeah, so basically we need pet UI, or pet AI, excuse me, not UI, pet AI that doesn't suck for the Jade Rabbit to be able to path back to base to get your items and come back out to you, and to stay around you in an intelligent way as you're moving around. We are doing work in the back end on pet AI stuff, which will unlock a lot of additional like gods that require that.
Scotty,
like Scotty obviously requires pet AI. Hera requires pet AI.
And they're all different variations.
They're all different variations, but we need like
the baseline,
the
good
foundation,
baseline AI there, and then it can be extended for each god's needs.
Each niche case.
That's like one of the main reasons why like Chang'e is a very popular goddess, and like is one that like I mean she wouldn't have been the first god in the game or anything, but like you could start to see the arguments for like why she might be in the game, but you know, there's the technical reason that we're working through still on her.
There's limitations. That's why she's not here yet.
Known that DX11 can sometimes cause skins to look like Medusa statues. If there is a skin or anything that is broken on DX11, please let us know. DX11 is not one of those things that we like super officially support. Like it is an option for people that are having issues in DX12, but the game is really meant to run in DX12. So we don't like verify that everything looks and works right in DX11. And so we kind of rely on people telling us like, hey, this skin doesn't work in DX11, and then like we go back and look at it, and inevitably there's some shader that doesn't support something on DX11, and then we have to change it. So
we got to I know loads of questions about Chang'e now. Would it be easier if you could make the rabbit fly over the map? Yeah, but it wouldn't be flying rabbits. Come on, like it should be kind of thematic, I guess, in some regard. And then people asking about different passives. We'll get to Chang'e when we get to Chang'e. We'll have updates when she's available to be discussed.
Can we get performance mode 120 frames per second on console? I would love to do this. We cannot run 120 frames per second on console. We can run it more than 60, but we cannot run it 120 consistently. And this is not the immediate response from everybody is like, oh, we'll just like turn on the graphics settings and it'll run at 120 frames per second. Problem is not the graphics thread. The problem is the game thread. So Smite 2 is a game that just has a lot of things that are going on that are not graphics. There are 100 minions and jungle monsters across the map. There's there's 10 players using abilities. There's everybody's items and all the UI to support all of the stuff. So like we are continuing to make progress optimizing the game thread and the game in general, and we have increased our average FPS over time quite a bit, but there are more optimizations that we need to do to get up to 120 on consoles.
Physical limitations.
Another one. Mr. Kilgoon won't answer me. Mr. Hinduban, make Guan Yu broomstick skin a prism where he holds different clean tools. I think it's a good idea. I am not in charge of what skins go in the game. It's above my pay grade for the most part. It does sound interesting, but I also know Guan's got unicorn right now, and there's definitely other gods that don't have stuff yet. It's kind of how I look at it.
I'm a wizard.
Thoughts on Atlas and Ishtar PTS feedback? Still early on the feedback that we're getting in from them at the moment, and obviously they're in a very work in progress state as we showcase as always. But we are taking on board the feedback and looking through it.
Yeah, like please let it. And if you have feedback, please let us know. We would love to hear
it. What's more taxing, UI or minions? Interesting. I couldn't tell you which one it is.
That's close.
They both do cause.
They both cost a lot.
They both cost a lot in performance.
There was one that I saw, but I don't know where it was. Oh, can you clear God Builder builds? It's really out of date. So there actually was an issue where we had forgotten to. So we have to manually update a variable every update.
Hey, Fujin.
What? This is a weird sentence.
Welcome. Good morning.
Basically, the game.
How you doing, my brother? Let me tell you something. You went to step 30. Only got one Bambi. Oh my gosh. He crazy. You crazy, man. How much is that? So 11. I went to step 20. That was like, what, 4,400 orbs? So an extra 1,000. It was like almost 6,000. 6.6. Ooh, damn. You got her at what, step 25? I think that's the one you get to choose, right? Step 25. And you went an extra 5 to get a dupe, and you didn't get one. Eesh. That's tough. That's tough. You got her though. You got her. So congratulations. You got Bambi. I don't know if you have any special move sources. Maybe you can consider giving them to her. That's tough though. You ready? Rat drops tomorrow. Ratatasker drops tomorrow. Let's
Needs
continue.
to know to write it down with the build what the update it was created in was.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we need to update.
We're just watching the
that says-
Friday Titan Talk item and God Balance overview. It was really, really short. Herc is getting a nerf. Hecate is getting a nerf. Gilgamesh getting a buff. Nuwa got reworked. Her aspect got reworked. Her ult doesn't crit anymore.
Nope.
And now they created a whole new play loop with her 3. If you hit a god, the cooldown reduction on the 3 goes to pout. You get an extra 0.5 seconds. If you don't hit a god, it's 0.2. And it has strength scaling now and basic attack scaling on top of intelligence scaling. So she's gonna be getting crazy. And it can proc in-hand basic attack item effects and ability item effects. It's crazy. Okay, you got 3 Ichibes. You got Nanana and Kangdu. 2 little Totos. Okay, you can finish Limit Breaker and then Guild Quest. Or you could have. You'll have to this next one for Guild Quest. You got Candace, one Yoruichi, Bambi, Kensei, and Orihime. Damn. You got 1 Trash Nope. Holy moly. You got 3 Nanana. Okay. He's actually a pretty excellent side character, support unit. And he's a 37 NAD. So he's a useful link as well. I've powered him up. I've gave him 10s on everything. And he has 20s too. He has extra attack, and the other one I think is damage to paralysis. I think that's what he does, right? That's his status element. So those are my extra skills for him. Yeah, rat drops tomorrow. Which part is the crazy part? The Nuwa shift? Yeah. That one's wild. Just so sad you spent 6.6 for 1 Bammy. Hey, it was at least 6.6. Imagine if you had spent more. At least it was 6.6. I think I've spent maybe more, if not that much, on Byakuyas. Especially 5th anniversary one. That one was wild, brother. Holy moly. I had, I think, what was it, 4,000 ready? And I didn't get him.
Nope.
Didn't get him. I got Ichigo, though. I got that dude like 505 almost immediately. I was like, I'm glad I got him. At least 1 copy. Although all these dupes, I don't want them. Give me a Byakuya. Had to get another 4,000 orbs. And then towards the end, I barely got him. It was tough. It's a tough battle. Getting the characters you want with a manageable amount of orbs is a tough endeavor. I understand how you feel. I have been there myself. It's tough. And then you spent like no orbs on characters you don't like and you get them like 505. I'm like, why, man? Why can't it be like this for the characters I do want? Holy moly. Or like every once in a while. Not every time, man. Because then you'd be like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna get him. Ain't no biggie. Dust off my shoulders. Just been Zombami. And you're missing Zombie Bambi. Rio Kangdu, I didn't want. I see him at all. Yeah. You're never gonna use him. I got him to 200 and that was it. Or now like 514 or whatever it is. Once you get to 200, it catches up to whatever you have set. So he's already maxed. I got his orbs. I haven't powered him.
Nope.
I don't even know if I'm ever gonna use him. Maybe in like a Senkaimon. Maybe. You know how they change Senkaimon rules here and there, and you have to change the character sometimes if it gets really bad, or your build, your links. So maybe there I'll use Kangdu. As for like actual farming in the game, like probably
All right,
not.
you guys, you're about
Probably
to watch
not.
180 seconds of ads.
He's
Don't forget
3
you
of
can
5
use your
now. I got
Prime
him
Sim to
2 of
skip through
5.
them.
Kangdu. I had 0 of 5. I was like, well, you were there. You're ready for the rat? Yeah. Yep. Rat drops tomorrow. Ooh-wee. I'm excited. I really want them. What was your favorite rat skin? Do you have one? I'm pretty sure you do. Let me know. Mine's the Ragnatasker one. Freaking hilarious. He has the Fenrir onesie. I think the googly eyes are the best part. You also had 0 of 5 Kangdu. We both didn't have that guy for the longest time, and now we have more than one copy of him. Holy moly. And it took us forever to get Bambi. Oh my gosh. In my mind, as I was summoning, I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna get Bambi. Because you know, if you speak out like, oh, I want this character, guess what? Now you're not getting that character. That's how some of the RNG like superstition works in BBS. So I just stayed quiet. I was like, I won't jinx it or anything. I'm just gonna keep on summoning. If I get her, I get her. If I don't, I don't. You know, I was trying to dance around the desire of obtaining her and not trying to make it obvious to the game. Because then K-Lab was going to be like,
Nope.
you ain't getting her, ninja. Some ish like that, you know? I was like, oh. Then I got her. I was like, yes. Yes. I wanted her and Lil Toto. They're the best ones. And then Maniness, of course, Volstani version. I mean, I wanted all three. Just in the order I wanted. Lil Toto 1, she was the best one. 2, Bambi. And then 3, Maniness. I didn't get Maniness at all, though.
Nope.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, though. I was like, hey, 66% of the full banner, or main banner, that I've obtained. I'll call that a win. I got the 2 characters I wanted most. I'm chilling. I got some great dupes. I got some new characters. My summoning turned around. Steps 11 to 20. 1 through 10, it was just pure dog water. Pure asininery. It was terrible. And now it's great. Holy moly. It switched up. Oh, you in an ad break. I forgot to tell you. You probably heard the message, though. We'll continue. I'll see you in 2 minutes, Fujin.
This is the current build name, and you should save builds with this name.
Right.
Does that make sense?
To me, yeah, but maybe
Okay.
not.
It's kind of oddly wording because I'm talking about 2 different kinds of builds. I'm talking about the game build and I'm talking about item builds.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
right builds.
Yeah. TLDR, we hadn't updated that variable in a long time.
Oh, you heard it? Okay. You love the Momo and also the Raxolotl skin. Oh, yeah. Avatar. He was Momo. That's right. Oh, dude, I forgot about that one. That one was fantastic. Although his voice pack was just a bunch of screeches, right? It was like, you couldn't hear him at all.
Nope.
Understand him at all. Similar to the Camazot's pterodactyl skins. Brother, the voice packs on those skins were horrible. Horrible. Great 5-minute meme. Although after that, all you just hear they got irritating and annoying just listening to the screeches. I was like, oh my gosh, this is atrocious. And then Momo was similar, just squeaks, right? You couldn't understand what he was saying. If you even read the VGS on the bottom left screen or wherever you have it placed. You'd have to read what he just said because you couldn't understand what he just. All you heard was squeak, squeak, squeak. You're like, what the hell is that? And you had to look. Oh, he's gonna gank this lane, or he's retreating. Holy moly! Those voice packs are probably like some of the worst ones. Oh, just for pure inability to understand what is being stated. Like you can just normally hear it, but with those
Nope.
skins, Nathan, man. And then the Ragnatasker one, he pretends to be like super fierce and vicious. That's what's so freaking funny about that voice pack. The whole thing, the skin, the voice pack. That's why I have it as number 1. I really want them to bring that skin to the game.
Time. So there were a lot of more recent builds that had been made, but they were still saying that they were
showcasing for like patches ago.
They looked like they were very old builds.
Okay.
So I believe we were updating that with the next update, or we updated it with this most recent update. So hopefully that issue will start to like resolve itself as people update their builds and save them, and it'll say, "Oh, this was done recently." So apologies for that. That was just we missed that. So I'm sorry.
All right, what else you got, chat? Oh, have you used your Bambi in PvP? My 205, I have her set up as a glass cannon.
No, Delphi
I've been
team,
ignoring
another set. I don't even. Is this your team?
So
She's still doing
played
great.
One of the OSL like lower leagues, right, on a team called Boys Night Out. We went. We played a league. You play everybody in the league so many games, and we like lost our first 3 sets and then won 2 against each other. However, we're supposed to got a game this Sunday evening. However, it's Easter weekend, and so we're probably going to get defaulted where my team can't make it, so we're probably forfeiting.
Right.
I was ignoring it because Juan, who's in chat asking that question, is just randomly asking it when he knows that we would stomp the team that we were supposed to face. Yeah, I'm saying that on a Smite game show. Yep, we would have stomped the team that we were supposed to face, but probably won't. We're not a good team now. We throw a lot. Just to be clear, we like to throw.
Old Smite.
So I couldn't find the magical version of Spectral Armor in the store. Was it removed from the game? So it was because we changed the stat on it to be plating. And what plating does is it gives you mitigation against attacks. So it's good against both magical and physical attacks.
Basic attack.
We didn't need a separate version anymore. That
Basic
gave you
attack.
magical procs versus a version that gave you physical procs. We could just have one item that is a anti-attack item. And
Basic attacks. Anytime you say attacks, it's basic attacks. Plating is defense against basic attacks, whether they're magical or physical.
Have that identity, and that's one of the reasons why we really like the
And it's
idea of
anti-crit.
plating, is because it gives you this like idea of an identity as anti-attack versus
Basic
anti-physical or anti-magical, which I think is a neat distinction to have.
Yes, I agree. I like that.
You need me on an OSL team. You don't want me on an OSL team. I'm not.
I think you'd hang.
I would do okay, but I am a.
You won't enjoy because you get focused a lot in those games. It's like, you gotta kill him.
Yeah, and also like
He be hyper focused in tunnel. Oh no way, really? That's funny.
Again, I've said this
time
before.
You've got children and everything.
I've got young children. Yeah. It's very difficult to
find the time
to carve out a guaranteed slot of time where I'm like, I will definitely be able to make it for this thing because like I have a 3-year-old who's losing her damn mind and I need to deal with that for a minute. Like I'm sorry, like, but I mean, like, yeah, most of my gaming is like after the kids are asleep. So unless you guys want to play your games at like
some of these kids
3 in the morning,
they're on
2 in the morning,
hours, 1 a.m. scrims for some teams.
Morning, brother. Welcome.
I'll have to train my children to become Smite 2 professionals. We'll see.
We laugh.
Per our terms and conditions, they must be 13 to play the game, so they've got a while to wait.
Well played.
You can start off stream, unofficially.
A lot of Nox chat today.
Yeah. When's Nox coming?
Nox updates. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you don't. I really dislike that character. I'm sorry.
A lot of Nox chat.
I love Nox.
I don't have any Nox updates. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you don't.
Damn.
I really dislike that character. I just listen.
I think it's just like it's one of those very polarizing characters.
Yep.
Circle of No just
It'd be difficult for us to figure out how to bring that character over, because if you change the Circle of No, then everybody's mad.
It's like blue decks in Magic. That's how I refer to
Yeah.
it. You know, it's just a No character. You don't get to play.
I
keep
don't really,
the kit.
I think that it's just one of those design problems that we will have to work through eventually. But
No!
we're not,
No,
she's,
for sure.
she's not the next mage on the calendar.
No! This means they might rework her completely? No! Please don't do it. Don't change Nox.
Nope.
She's great. I love her as she is. Let's freaking go. 2-1 Shadow Step and then a giant bowling ball. Excellent kit. Excellent kit. Fun to play as. Unfun to play against. Love-hate relationship with her. Mostly love for me though.
I can tell you that. So we haven't worked through that.
No, don't rework her, please.
She's better in every way. Yeah, okay, sure, that's a take.
No.
Any assault changes planned? Sometimes the mode gets too campy. I know the team continue to look at assault consistently on and off, just to see how it's going. But obviously, whenever we make changes towards optimization and stats there as well, it does have a knock-on effect in those modes too. We're aware of that.
Yeah.
We will be monitoring, but we don't have anything just yet.
Keep Nox the way she is.
If you have feedback, like specific feedback on things that you feel like aren't working about modes, like a lot of what we get in this show is people asking questions, right?
Yeah.
But we also really like points of feedback. Like
actual
I think last week we
feedback.
I think it was early this week.
Go on.
No, I was gonna say we got the point of feedback about the Wandering Market coins.
That was Monday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was Monday. And then because it was like very clear feedback and we understood the issue, we were able to talk about it and we were able to be like, okay, well, let's try getting a fix in for that, right? And like if the depth of the feedback on assault is just, it can feel like it can get a little campy at times. That's cool, but like any feedback that you have is always like really valuable to us. That's one of the reasons why I like doing the show.
And Assault is such a weird game mode because the gods that each teams have is randomized too. So sometimes it can be 4 tanks against 4 DPS. And 4 DPS have to sit under the tower because no one wants to go on frontline tank and die 20 times trying to frontline for them. So it can be a bit varied like that. But also itemization can affect that too, and how the state of the game is.
Yeah. Any plans to accelerate the god ports anytime soon, knowing that your favorite god might...
Silver lining, one is better than none. Yep. It is, brother. I was just telling him, like, you spent 6.6. Yes, it's bad. Imagine spending more. Right? How bad would you feel then? Take your victories where you can. It was a hard-fought battle. In the end, I won because I got my character. I got it. You RNG, F you RNG. You couldn't stop me.
Nope.
Coming mid-2028 can be a feels bad. Nope, we have no plans to accelerate the god ports.
Gang, being real, we're like one every 2 weeks is a real push for the team consistently all the time. Like if we could go faster, we probably would. I'm not gonna lie, but at the moment, like one every 2 weeks is a real fast pace, especially when you compare it to
with
how
a small
Smite 1
team.
was. Sure, we're gonna get the feedback that every single time we did a god in Smite 1, it was a new god. Well, that god was in development for 6 months. Most of the time to get to that point of being released in time for that.
Damn.
Whereas now we really are taking a god from Smite 1 into Smite 2, but it still takes a lot of work for us to turn that around, and we are still taking weeks and weeks to produce those. To the point that you guys don't feel like it's every 2 weeks. For us, it's constant.
We have multiple gods going at the same time.
Well, good example is you guys be able to see right now that Rat's on PTS, but so is Atlas, so is Ishtar in different forms, and we're still working on other ones alongside.
Yeah, we've got some other ones that are in various stages of completion.
The next ones
Perfect World, we'd have them all out already. Perfect World, we release one every day, but we just don't have that time, unfortunately. We gotta work within our means.
They don't even have the manpower.
Like the other thing too is that it's not just like design implementation.
No, it's not.
Right? Like even if we could design implement every god in a week, we can't. But I'm just
Sure.
Magic, right?
Spitballing.
Magical. Snap my fingers. All the gods are technically implemented, right? They are not going to have FX.
Yep. There's
anytime
effects,
soon.
art,
Because
visual,
FX
rigging.
is, it's always been one of our most impacted departments because none of the effects from Smite 1 work in Smite 2, and we have to completely start from scratch.
Damn.
God.
Good example, Morgan Le Fay's one recently that we've done continued updates to, right?
Yeah.
That released and we continue to update afterwards. Yeah.
And
Damn, all the effects are brand
like,
new.
The base God effects
Holy moly.
also take the longest and are the hardest because like you have a baseline to work with when you're making a skin after you've made the God.
Yeah.
But doing the God is the hardest part of the work and the most time consuming, right? So we need to have like people that really know what they're doing.
The most tedious one.
Working on that, right? And then like any model updates, like sure we could.
Yeah, it's gonna be mid-month too, so it might be a 3-step banner, and it's gonna be probably 2 characters again. They keep doing double character banners for mid-month. At least they have been recently. No, not 3 no more.
Nope.
3 only for the big ones for end of the month. Mid-month is just 2. Super basic. Well, I get 1 5-star at step 3 now instead of step 5, and the first 2 steps are discounted. Oh. So maybe we'll see. I want them to do like the really badass Stark, because every time they do a Stark, it's always a shaft. They always shaft him as like, my man Stark is getting no respect out here.
Nope.
Can we just get one solid unit that looks cool, has great effects visually, audio wise, concept is just kick ass. You're like, God damn, yes, finally, like one useful fucking Stark. Not all these like half useful, not useful at all. Like, give him an excellent solid kit, an excellent design, excellent effects. Can we just get one? Like, is one too much to ask for? Like, I haven't really been that impressed with like all the Starks that have been released. The Camp for Your Own World one, the Beyond Resurrection, that one looks amazing visually. Has some cool effects, although the range is very limited. He has the like 2-second debilitator, which is not that good. And then the rest of his kit is just like wonky. It's just like, that one could have been it. That one could have been the best Stark in the game. But even then, like the mark just fell short. It's like every other Stark that's in the game is really just not that good either.
Nope.
Where is like one excellent Stark? Like just one. Come on, Caleb. That's not too much we're asking for here. Just one solid, useful Stark. That looks good, has a great kit, has great visuals, and you just feel like you're Stark. Yeah, I'm the number one in Spotlight. I'm right here. Let's do this. Can we get that, Caleb? No.
Nope.
No, we can't. God damn it. That's my Stark rant there.
Bring characters over with the exact same old model with the old textures that don't look good in UE5 and, let you play with them. But like the level of complaining that we've gotten around putting a couple of MS Paint items in the game tells me that like we would get more anger about bringing these incomplete gods over sooner than just following the cadence of every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, yeah.
You're going to get a new one, and we got to work through the pipeline.
People are really still complaining about the temp visuals.
I think the one thing to take
for
into
the
account
new
when
item.
we say the FG is, we need to make the FG stronger. I think after a certain point in the game, the enhanced fire giant takes a ton of damage to kill, and he's very dangerous for teams to pull and can actually stagnate the game sometimes. And then he's a nuclear beast once you do actually kill him, where you can go on and win the game. So I don't necessarily agree that the FG needs to be stronger right now. I think he scales pretty well. If anything, maybe he needs to tone down at some point, but that's for the devs to continue to look at.
Yeah, I think that's like it's a very fine line between
Yeah, the disrespect to the man who is supposed to be Kenny's counterpart is beyond disgusting. Yep. Yep. It's just like we here waiting for a great Stark like. You haven't made one yet? Okay. We'll just forever be waiting for an excellent Stark, man. Even in the manga too, like Kubo completely just although I understand in the manga why he got done dirty. It was just he was worked like a mule. He had no breaks. He was overworked, unhealthy. So the whole manga was just rushed. So I understand. I'll give him a pass on that one. Hey man, you're making up for it now with Core 4, Season 4, and Thousand Year Blood War. You're involved. Finally, we're gonna get the excellent Bleach content that we should have gotten originally that we didn't. I don't even think he even planned that much for Stark anyways.
Nope.
He was like, well, we'll just do this, this, and this, and then next. I was like, God damn it. But I really love Stark. Stark is one of my favorite espadas. And to see him go out the way he did, I was like we barely saw him do anything. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, I know Stark is freaking OP. Like, I want to see it. And then Shunsui didn't even use Bankai to kill him, so it was like, how strong really was he? It's like such a wash, such a waste of a character. Like, even Barakan got a lot more love than Stark did. I was like, this motherfucker, this guy got more love than Stark. Hell no. There's only 13 units. 7 are playable, 4 are purple, 2 are green, and 1 red. Yeah, no orange and no blue. Yep. I think that's just gonna be one topic of controversy in Bleach forever. Like the Stark fans, we Stark fans, we're never gonna be satisfied.
Nope.
With how he turned out, how he got done, how he continues to get done by BBS. Like, I see you're still kicking the dead horse. F y'all. Showing no respect to our man Stark. Fucking badass, man. He was like the Shunsui. Him and Shunsui were like 1 and 1 and 1. They're like the same. Basically the same character. And we saw Stark kind of start to go all out. And then, but not really. It was like, is he gonna go? Is he not? It's like, can we get some more? No, he's dead. Okay. Great. Now he was so cool, man. He was chill, cool, strong, OP. Just wanted to see him fight like all out. Actually fight. Nah, we didn't even get that.
Nope.
Like, if he was still gonna die, all right, I can accept that. If he still had to die, he had to die, right? Because can you just go out like a freaking badass, you know, pull out all the stops, bring out everything. We get to see all of his skills, you know, have him go out in a blaze of glory, like a fireworks, you know, an epic display of skill, tactic, talent, strategy, voice lines. No?
Nope.
All right, then. We'll just forever imagine what could have been then, you know? That's just me, though. Yeah, he got Goon Squad, too. It was a one-on-one. And then Jushiro was like, I'm here. Because Lilynet merged with him. So it was like a 2-on-1. So he's like, no, it's a 2v2 now. I'm here, Shunsui. I'm here, Shunsui. I'll even the score. Oh, man. And then he gets one-shotted by Wonder Wise. It's like, a whole lot of fury happened there with Stark. Oh,
A boss objective.
don't even get me started, man.
Is like tanky enough to take time to kill.
Yeah.
And like require, because basically like what an objective is it is a my team is committing time for a result, right?
For a reward.
Yeah, for a reward. And it as soon as it crosses a threshold, it becomes like too dangerous. It takes too much time, and it's no longer worth it anymore.
Yeah.
And the number one thing that causes games to stall out is when teams don't go for objectives. So if I have to pick like slightly one side or slightly another, I'm going to pick that like objectives should be slightly weaker than slightly stronger, because games will end if people can do objectives.
Yeah.
There maybe is an argument that like with certain builds, like certain item things and whatnot, like maybe Fire Giant is weak in some situations. I'm not arguing that point particularly, but I'm just talking more philosophically. Like people need to be able to kill objectives so they can get the buffs to end the game. Yeah. Like if they can't do that, then if they don't feel safe to do that, the game never ends, and it's, you know, a 60-minute staring at each other across from Fire Giant pit game, which isn't fun.
Yep. True. And then make people actually want to get the objectives, man. Come on. Like, I've been put up with some people that just are allergic to taking objectives. Like, oh my god. Or if they do take objectives, they do it at the wrong time. Like, we just took out Duo and the jungler. We go do Gold Fury. Bam. Why is my ADC not with us? Why is he still taking tier 1 while me in the mid, or me and the jungler are taking gold? Even though I told him, group up, let's take gold.
Nope.
He's still going to T1. Guess what? We almost kill gold. I almost die, so then my jungler starts tanking for me. Towards the end of us almost taking the gold, guess who comes along? Our ADC. Does he take the tower?
Nope.
Is he alone?
Nope.
He brings 3 other enemies, the ones that we just killed. Like, now we're in a predicament. Now we have to back out. I'm probably going to die, which I did, as I was on red, low health. Jungler has to now redirect his attention towards the oncoming threat. And now we get neither the T1 tower that you went for, ADC, nor do we get the gold.
Nope.
Because you weren't there. It was your decision. This is literally all your fault, man. There's times to take objectives and other times to back off and go do other objectives. Oh. This game,
head ward skin win.
not even a game.
Diamonds.
These people.
No one wants this, especially
people.
not for 2,000 diamonds. That's what, like,
I'm interested
like
to see how many.
$16, $17.
The what?
What's this? New Kilgoon head ward skin win 2,000 diamonds. No one wants this, especially not for 2,000 diamonds. That's what, like,
I'm interested
like
to see how many.
$16, $17.
Kilgoon head
Nobody
war
wants to pay that.
skin. That's
Right,
funny.
2,700 is
For Kilgoon head ward skin. I mean, support a store item.
Uh-huh.
Nobody wants that. And
Are you
also,
sure?
like, we couldn't put it in the supporter store because supporter store categories are exclusive to the supporter store.
You find excuses not to.
No,
get
no,
it.
I'm just saying, like,
Mhm.
we
You're
wouldn't
right.
do that.
I get you.
Because I don't want to start, like, getting in that slippery slope
No,
of,
I
like,
agree.
oh, well, we said that this was going to be unique stuff, but now we got word skins in there. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Trying to meme in.
What did Chris say?
He's like, no.
Early game is
Nope.
too easy. Okay, so maybe, like, Fire Giant should spawn with slightly more, like, stats just at the very beginning, and then scale up slightly slower and get to the same place. Like, that's an argument that I could, you know, I could hear. Again, we have to talk to design. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, we should change it. But, like,
I won't
again, we need
speak
to
for
make sure
them.
people can kill it so that the game can progress. But I do think that specific feedback of at the very beginning of the first spawn, he is a little bit weak.
Yeah.
Is more actionable for us. That's good feedback.
Okay, yeah. That's something you can work on. not just a blanket.
So this is another interesting piece of feedback here on Assault. So without items like Sovereignty and Heartward, the mode slows down because it takes longer to regen health and mana, making teams sit back longer. So that is interesting because like most people think, for those of you who didn't play Smite 1, Sovereignty and Heartward are aura items in where basically what they give you is protections plus health regen or mana regen.
Correct.
Like one of them is physical protections plus health, and the other one's magical protections plus mana, right? And we think that the aura protections are a relatively unhealthy thing from a design standpoint.
I love them though; they were great.
Aura regen is maybe a little bit different.
There's a couple of items that are in the game right now that
War
some people
Flag,
don't
once it's
really
leveled
utilize.
up, helps you heal a lot, but that's later.
A little bit, yeah. There is also why I can't remember the name. Chandra's Grace, is it?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
It's such a good item.
Even in the other modes too. But I agree. I agree. Mana regeneration in some of those modes is a key factor for Assault, for example. But I don't think health regeneration is necessarily a good thing, because then you get into the world of yogis once again, which is one of the reasons that's disabled.
Yeah,
Is because
there's
like MP5 and
Got
health
blacklisted.
Maybe there's like a better place where it's like, because yogis is a lot, right? If it's like a
sure, because it's got health, mana, and stuff. But yeah, having some.
So I'm just saying like the percentage of your health, right? Like there's probably a line of like, you know, giving your team like it's not the right number, but like two hit points a second, right?
Sure. So 10 every 5. Yeah.
That doesn't stack with itself, right? It's just one buff that if one person on the team has it.
The health regen for me is like, listen, you learn to fight a low health in Assault game mode, but MP5 I can kind of agree with like mana being low. Although that's your own fault, and people will get offended by this. That's your own fault for not building any mana regen items because you're trying to just do massive damage before you've got regeneration to spam your abilities a little bit more.
But basically, I think there is good feedback. That's basically like
some regen in there.
Some of the camping is because you can't regen enough. Or like,
sure,
I get what you're saying. I understand the feedback, and we can take that feedback and then process it. So
digest it.
Somebody is shouting. Somebody else is. Sorry, somebody else shouted out somebody else's question, and I was like trying to see what the actual question was. So I scrolled back up, and it was: does Black Mist Zhong Kui release date affect how fast Zhong Kui comes to Smite 2 or other things like that? I would say probably not. I mean, like if there is an opportunity to hop on a major like cultural moment, then sometimes we might try and do that. But a lot of our god planning is more around like popularity, difficulty of implementation for different teams, and how we can sort it into our schedule. You know, maybe if the stars align and we're like, oh, at the time that we want to do this is roughly the time that game comes out, maybe we'll, do something. But probably not.
I get you.
Please, can we see if our friends list is in our friends list or in game or simply online? It's confusing. Logging in. Yeah. I think we've discussed this before.
This is on our to-do list. Yeah.
I hate this list.
I know.
Just because we have to say it, and it's not not a get out clause. It is just the truth. But we repeat this a lot.
Yeah, and this one's on.
It's on Chris Jericho's list.
To the Rally Here guys again about that.
Don't worry, you'll get done.
So our friends list system is also just not something that like we built internally. It's something that we use from our back end, which is a quasi-internal team, but it's like a separate internal team. So I need to talk to the Rally Here guys and see if there's something we can do about that.
So I mentioned the friend list limit as well. Yeah, that is also included as part of that whole overhaul of looking at that system.
100 friends, I think. The cap.
What are the devs' thoughts on making Ishtar FX be more rose gold since she's missing some love elements? I know this has been discussed a couple of times internally, but I don't think there's any overall conversation that's gone on to like solidify anything. But I know the community's been suggesting this.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's more for the art team, unfortunately.
When are we stopping Smite 1 support and going all in for 2? So we're basically doing nothing for Smite 1. The only thing that we do for Smite 1 is like restart the servers if it breaks, and we update the images for JSON, like the home screen little images to be like, hey, this new god released in Smite 2, because we're like,
that's it.
And we do have some like things are set to automatically cycle through sales for people that are still playing. You know, that's basically it. But there's nobody like actively clicking on it or looking at it.
There's no one intentionally like planning. There's no current plan to like turn off the Smite servers or anything like that. People want to go back and play Smite 1. It's there for you to go play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like there are some people that are on old gen hardware that can't run Smite 2. They're still a part of the Smite community. They can play Smite, right? Yeah. There's some people that really like a specific god that is in Smite 2. It's still in Smite 1. They can still play that god on Smite, and then come over to Smite 2 when that god comes out. Like we don't have any intention to take it down, but we definitely are not putting more than like 30 minutes a month of thought into Smite 1.
Minimum equals maximum.
The office, it's us being like, why the hell did we do it that way in Smite 1? Because we're trying to implement something in Smite 2, and we're like, does it need to be that way because it was that way in Smite 1?
Keep seeing the question about Yemoja and self-healing. Listen, if Yemoja needs some adjustments in the future where she needs buffs, and let's be honest, how often do we talk about Yemoja and people complain about needing nerfs? They may revisit looking at her being able to self-heal, but at the moment, Yemoja does not need any love.
No, she doesn't.
And if you're going to give her self-healing, then we need to be taking damage away from something, because having infinite Omni with no mana regeneration requirements and being able to self-heal, you'll all be very frustrated very, very quickly.
Yep.
Period.
Yes.
Let them know, Hindu. Let them know.
Thank you for saying that Smite 2 feels better than Smite 1 in terms of the gameplay. We try. Is the God popularity survey that we did posted online anywhere? So we are intentionally not sharing the full results of that survey for a couple of reasons. The biggest one is that we don't want
people get their fifis hurt.
It's the kind of data that people in the community will obsess over
for the end result
in a way that
my God should be higher.
Like, well,
your God should be lower.
Either there's a couple ways you can interpret it. Either like, oh, why aren't they doing this god that was #1 on the survey results, and they should be prioritizing this because we told them this, and any other god is being like not listening to your community and right? Or it's, oh, my favorite god is last on the list and they're not going to be in the game for 2 years. I'm never going to play the game again, right? Like when this list is an informative thing for us to help us understand which gods we like, if we prioritize them, are most likely to affect the most number of players. If that makes sense. Like, because if you're a most popular god, then theoretically the most number of people would be happy if we brought that god over. But
that makes sense.
Aren't only going to bring over the most popular gods. Like, some of them are going to be mid tier, some of them are going to be lower tier, right? And
bring Fafnir,
right? And it's also the most popular in individual people's eyes.
Yes,
that's the other thing I want to point out, because a lot of people will go, "Why are these coming out when it's a really popular god?" But some people do not like it and would rather have a different style of god that comes out.
There was recently I'm not going to talk about this in any more depth, but there was a data mined model update for a god.
Yeah,
right. That god is not one of the most popular gods, but it was a god that we felt like we could do something cool with.
Sure.
And it fit into the schedule to slot it in, doing something cool with it at that point in time.
Who's that?
So we're doing it,
but
right?
It doesn't necessarily mean it's coming soon.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's coming soon, but I'm saying, like, the reason why that even got on the calendar, like, if we were only focusing on priority, like, in terms of how people surveyed, there maybe would have been some other choices that we put before that.
Mana?
But we thought that the god had a lot of potential, and so we went with it, right? Like, and sometimes we're going to do that.
I wonder who it is. I'm curious now.
June 11th marks the kickoff of the World Cup. Can we expect World Cup skins that identify country hosts, yada, yada, yada? So these were like the worst performing skins in the history of Smite 1.
Correct.
Because Smite is an American game for the most part, right? So how many people prefer football?
Nope.
Or soccer? Damn near almost not that many. It's the world sport. It's just not America's sport.
Nope.
Holy moly.
They were some of the very first ones as well, funny enough, but yeah.
And every time we have ever done a sports-themed skin,
been around that long for that
nobody bought it, other than Dunkfather Odin because of the meme, right?
The German Jubalanke skin is the least owned skin in Smite.
Yes. Oh, shit. Oh my gosh, damn. I did not know that. That's freaking hilarious, though.
Yeah, I am probably the biggest sports fan in the Smite fandom. And nobody else shares my opinions, and that's okay. I understand that, but because of that, we're not going to emphasize like sports themed skins.
Yeah. They're like, nah, bro. Nah, brother. Get that sport-ish
You have
out of my
the Germany skin.
game.
I think that is actually literally the rarest skin in Smite 1. There is no that is actually the you have the Germany skin. I think that is actually literally the rarest skin in Smite 1. There is no skin rarer than that skin. So congratulations, best Korean rice.
I think it was that and Artemis Convention skin 2012.
Yeah, and I think that was actually slightly more common.
Yeah, it's more common than the Jablonki skin. Yeah.
Damn.
So
Holy
like
moly.
nobody had that skin. So
Super.
congratulations.
You're of one of a few.
Drop a Rugby World Cup skin. I love rugby, but so speaking of Dunkfather, maybe urban fashion could be a cool skin line. So what we've found is that generally like fashion alone is not enough to carry a skin line. People need like it's almost always like
Has to be a
find
cool
a specific
theme.
fashion influence, find some thematic hook, and then layer those two things together. And if you just do fashion, if you just do like thematic hook, it doesn't perform as well. If you look at like other games, it's a very common way of approaching cosmetics.
Who has that Germany skin? That one guy. We know that one guy has it.
Like the
I
Neon
don't.
Graffiti Street.
You
Wukong
don't,
Nation
brother. I know
Online.
you don't.
Yeah, those did okay. I would say. I think that like the thematic hook didn't resonate as well as we would like. I think another example would be like Mastermind Emojis in the next update.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Those kind of like cyberpunk thieves. I forget exactly what the theming was on it.
For the Mastermind one, I don't know.
But it was kind of like
When the Tron skin's coming
It was
back?
kind of like
Oh, Shibalanke.
that theme plus some like
It was a
the
footballer
fashion elements that
Shibalanke.
we were inspired by for those skins. I think went over really well, and I think there's a lot of examples like that.
Bring
Bowling
back the
Atlas
Tron
skin
one.
would be sick for his aspect. I need an officially licensed Bowling Atlas skin would be sick for his aspect. I need an officially licensed Big Lebowski Atlas skin.
That would be cool.
That would be great.
That would be really good.
That makes
Is he
sense
just
too.
in underwear with a long robe? Is
Yes.
that kind of his, just the whole,
Yeah.
whole shebang?
Yeah,
Bowling.
and like
Sold.
we need like the lines from the actual movie.
Bowling
You know,
is passion. Yep.
yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
the-
Go on.
Go for it.
I was going to say, this one is being asked a couple of times, but can support starters be looked at? I feel like in specific meta, backline supports feel rough because their starters are now not helping the team. There is games where I feel like flag or heroism would help backliners feel like they can actually fight back against a dive that feels almost... I will say, first of all, heroism right now as a star is a fine item. I understand the complaints that people say that, like, yes, the support starters could get upgraded early because that's one thing they lost. But heroism is actually better than it has ever been, in my opinion. And if you don't know why, I'm not going to tell you. But it is definitely better than it was. Wolf Flag maybe needs some love, but I do think it's bringing what you need to the game in terms of giving some preventative skill towards CC. But there is also a catalyst to that now, too.
I appreciate the Big Lebowski chat now because I mentioned Big Lebowski.
It's on. Yeah.
If you have not seen the Big Lebowski, that is like one of my favorite movies of all time. It is
We haven't seen it.
So funny.
However, the older we both progress, the older more and more things
Yeah.
people just haven't ever seen
I
before. You're like,
know,
wow, that's
I
crazy.
know.
That people, nobody don't know those
It's so
references.
funny.
Yeah.
It is.
It just that's where your age comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You realize your age when you're like, wait, you've never seen that reference?
Yeah, it's you know, it's like there's certain. I think it's partially like the age that you were when the thing comes out as to how like in college,
How
I
likely
felt
you are
like
to
every
experience it.
party that you went to, like at the time, like people just have movies on a lot when you went to people's houses. I don't know if that like was your
Yeah,
experience.
for sure.
And like I feel like Wedding Crashers and like 40-Year-Old Virgin were like always the movie on in the background,
yeah.
like we went to people's houses back then. So anyway,
Oh, it is 201.
It's time
So it is
for
time for one
more question.
Oh, already? Damn, that was fast.
Hazel, let's not get into that. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the one thing about a lot of chat is you've all aged too, just like we have.
Yes, a lot.
And, you know, once upon a time, you're all 14, 15, 16 playing this game, and now you're all 23, 24, 25 playing this game, and still going, man, where's all that stuff from when I was a kid? And I'm like, well, you've grown up, but also the game is still...
But it's still fun. It's still good, right?
It's still got you hooked.
I have fun going back to a lot of old games that I
For sure.
played decades ago, and I'm like, this game is still good.
Let's go.
Still gives that vibe.
Hasn't lost its magic.
The good thing about Smite
Nope.
2, right, is that like we do get the chance to update that game for a newer audience, and we brought in a lot of new players.
No,
You
for
know,
sure,
like there's a lot of people in chat who still are like, you know, younger and didn't play Smite 1, and I think that that's awesome that we're able to keep growing the community.
Hell yeah. Yeah, actual people, man. Actual players.
Okay, Mr. Ultima Online. I was not an Ultima Online player. I was an EverQuest player. Okay, it's very different things. Okay, I gotta pick an actual question here. Is it fixed going to be able to see players' custom God cards in game again? It's been broken since the God screen overhaul. That is something that we need to fix. It's on the list. I don't know exactly when it's going to be fixed. It's just been other UI priorities. It was one of those things that we thought. So the UI team thought that was just broken because there were certain instances where it just didn't work and it would never pull anything up and it would just pull up like a placeholder.
Yeah.
And they thought it was broken for like all instances. So they were like, oh, we'll just disable it. So in order to bring it back, they need to fix it for the many instances where it didn't work, or else like disable it in all of those areas. So it's not just like we snap our fingers and it's back. Like it was a broken feature that they turned off because they were like, oh, well, it's broken anyway. If it's just broken, we'll turn it off until we get around to it. And now it's like, oh, well.
They haven't gotten around to it.
Actually fix it.
Thoughts on increasing the coins from Twitch drops. A week's worth isn't even enough for a daily chest. We will look at the Twitch drops and the amount of coins. We've obviously been constantly going through the Wanderer Market coins.
You only get 50,
we
yeah.
keep making some adjustments, so we will get to that, but it was really just kind of waiting for the market to equalize. I know we just put this change in as well related to purchasing, but we will revisit the Wandering Markets in the coming weeks and months. No guarantees when, but we will look at it.
Yeah, definitely. Something we can look at. I think that, like, you know, we were trying to... It's very difficult economy to balance. Like, I've talked about this before, but like one of the problems is that like some people play Smite like
daily, weekly, hourly.
Yeah, 8 hours a day. Some people play Smite like
monthly.
2 hours a week, right? Or an hour a week, right? And it's like, how do you make sure that both players are making progress?
But they feel rewarded for their investment.
Yeah.
Not necessarily equally, because if you're investing more time in the game, you should get some more. But at the same time, you're still getting something for coming in once a month and not feeling like you're being left behind, which is... It's kind of the world of not just MOBA, but like a lot of video games that are MMO styles, for example, really struggle with that as well. But that's it for us for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. The OB32 balance overview is available on Smite Prime for you all. Next week, we'll be back with the final review of the notes. Kilgun will be here to go over the balance notes with you.
Today.
On Tuesday,
That's
we'll be seeing
later today.
But don't forget to check out all the esports this weekend. If we don't see you beforehand, we'll see you on the battleground.
On the battleground. Peach it. Excellent job, gentlemen. Another great Titan talk filled with information and knowledge for us. And over here, let's see. Just a quick recap before we skedaddle. Oh, that's right. Radiant Bulwark got a little some love, I would say. Is a buff. The self slow is gone. You still can't turn though. You can move though. That's great. I think the self slow was the worst part. You're like, I'm just a sitting duck here. Now you can move. Damaru got a nerf. Great. Spectral got a buff. Pharaoh's Curse buff. I don't even know what that item is.
Nope.
Maybe I have seen it and I just forgot about it. Right now, I can't recall.
Nope.
Kinetic Kuiras got a buff.
We've obviously
see.
You're going to
get full speed.
Yep.
Next up is Damaru. Again, a little bit of a touch towards Damaru here. We're going to be reducing the strength of this item. This in the last patch. This is a pretty active curse.
A lot more burn.
Kagi next. Going to be decreasing.
All right, Teko Kagi nerf, Gemma Focus nerf, and the Cosmic Horror nerf. Light nerfs. That's it for items. Super short list. Gods, Geb nerf. Again, tanky rock doing a lot of damage. Yeah, doing some reduced damage on that. Gilgamesh buff. Let's see. Over here. Hecate nerf. A little too much damage for her. And then who else? Hercules got a nerf. Nuwa shift. We'll see if this is a nerf or a buff. The ult got nerfed though. She can no longer critically strike in her aspect. I think that's great. And let me see. I think that was it. Nuwa. Yeah, that was it. And then some bug fixes. That's it. Super short update. Item and god balance. Again, because all the meat and potatoes came in the previous patch. So this one is a little lighter. And seeing how things turn out. So hell yeah, man. Looking forward to these changes. I really like the Damaru ones. And all the buffs that the other items got. I like those items. I use them. So I'm chilling, man. I'm happy. Radiant Bulwark. Yep, this is going to feel a lot better. And then Spectral. It's going to feel a lot better. And Kinetic Cuirass 2. That one's going to feel better. Which one's Pharaoh's Curse, though? I don't even know, man. Then Damaru. Maybe that one's going to feel good. I mean, I don't really... Only in like Assault and Arena do I really play DPSers. For the most part, I just play frontline. Support or solo. In rankies, unless I'm forced to play ADC, then I play ADC. Which I'm okay with. If no one really wants to play ADC, I'll play ADC. Maybe, I don't think I've ever used this item in ranked.
Nope.
I've used it in arena. That's it. That's because I choose to be a DPSer. When other people already choose to be frontliners, I'm like, hey, okay, I'll play a DPSer. Let's do this. Looking forward to all this. And Rat, of course. Rat, that's the biggest thing for tomorrow. He's carrying the patch. Not too much changes in items and god balances. So, Geb nerf, Hecate nerf, Hercules nerf, Nuwa nerf buff, shift, and Gilgamesh buff. He's the only one that got some love. Yeah, everyone else got the boot. Yeah, yep, they got the stick. Alrighty. I'm interested to see how her aspect is gonna be now. I want to see how that cooldown is gonna affect her 3. Because you can now just almost spam. If you get some cooldown in there, cooldown items, damn. And her 3 can now crit, and it can proc ability effects. Both. It doesn't say it can crit, but I'm gonna guess it can crit because it can proc basic attack item effects like Hydra's and ability item effects like Crusher, and then you have Echoing at that, so that's also crit item. So her 3 is probably gonna be critting more than likely. I just want to see how crazy this new shift is gonna be for her. This one. Holy moly. If you land your passive, your basic attack passive route, guaranteed 3-hit, and then you'll be able to spam your 3 some more. Like you just be three-ing. Damn. I want to see how it turns out. I'm looking forward to it. Pretty much it though. Yep. Then a Herc nerf. You probably needed it. Apotheosis got cut in half. He got capped at the knees. Mitigate wounds got a nerf. I think it had just buffed this too. Huh? That's the funny part. Because he got buffed since he wasn't getting any playtime, and his win rate was low. So they gave him some love. Then they brought in the new stuff, which just shot him over the moon. And they're like, whoa. Come back down here, man. Damn. Chopped him at the knees. So now he'll be in a more balanced state. We'll see, though. We'll see how things turn out for our man Herc. Damn, that's it. Shout out to you guys. Just go over here.
Today we'll be seeing
Have them peach it.
But don't forget to check out all the esports.
And we'll peach it ourselves, too.
We'll see you on the
battleground. And I will see you tomorrow. Shout out to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your money day. Have a great week. Again, super chill, super relaxed, super short stream. Tomorrow, we're going to go into some overtime, more than likely, as we do have a new god dropping in. Ratatasker, the messenger of Yggdrasil. The Sly Messenger, I think, is his official title. And some new changes coming up. Excited for that. Don't forget to exercise, drink plenty of water, and stay hydrated. Eat healthy, nutritious meals. Get plenty of rest and sleep. Don't discard your cardio. Honor your rest days. And we'll be back tomorrow. Shout out to you guys. All the chatters returning and new follows, subs. All of your support is greatly appreciated. I will see you all tomorrow for another banger stream. Have a wonderful week. Take care, everybody. Peace. Peace.